good tactical game here. In fact, are they just going to go straight through? Is that... No, that isn't P2 and 3. It looked like P2 and 3, but maybe not. So they're battling for something else. That could be Spool and McFly, and I think it is, because McFly has dropped off the pace a little bit. Skyring, or that could actually be Skyring and Mark Olsen for P7. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 6 of the Pretty Ninja Ultimate Sim Racer series hosted on the World Sim Series website. My name is Anders, and I'll be your host for this evening's race. Sorry, it's a bit of a delayed stream. We will get straight over to the racing action once we have just taken a very quick look at our standings. And we can see that Butler is leading the way with 136 points, Jay Skyring with 79, Spool with 77, Burridge with 74, Pindalier with 69, and Colson with 50. But if Butler gets the race victory today, it's pretty much done deal. So without further ado, let's do a very quick track recce, and it will be trackside in just a minute. Oh, I will need to change the video. I apologise by this. It's a bit of a rush one tonight. The circuit to Catalonia, Barcelona, as we just let off a little bit to go around the final corner. A little bit of understeer coming out of there. And over the DRS line to start the lap. Very well. So here we are, coming up to the final corner here at Portimao. Shifting up a little bit too early there into 6th gear, but never mind, this is only a track recce, not a flying lap. And so we go over the DRS zone to start our lap. It's a very wintry Portimao. We go over the crest, just past the 100 metre board, drop it to really chuck the car in, get back on the power as soon as we can, and then hard on the brakes down to 2nd gear for this right-hander, wanting to keep to the right-hand side as early as we can. Short shift in 2 gears to help with the power going down. DRS open over the very short DRS zone, down to the 180 hairpin. It's not called a 180 hairpin, it is just 180 degrees. You're basically going back on yourself. Over the crest to the left. Get ready for a right-hander, drop it down a gear to 4th. Hard on the brakes down to 3rd again. Just watching out for the crest here to not lose the rear end, keeping it in 3rd. For a smoother transition of power to the circuit. Up the hill we go, around the left. Ignoring this first right-hander, aiming for the apex of the second, which we do miss on this occasion. Down the hill, over to the right to make it nice and open for this left-hander. And then hard on the brakes again, keeping it in 3rd, just for a nice, smooth transition of power to the circuit. Keeping it in 3rd for this right-hander, as we understeer quite wide there. And once again, we come back to the final corner, which is flat out here. Up to 5th, over the crest, down the hill. Let the engine scream, DRS wide open to complete our wintry lap here at Portimao. So again, it's going to be quite a hard car to master, but this is the Ultimate Sim Racer, and our drivers have to be wary of everything that's around them. Why is it that the lap that I do... Oh no. Almost spoke too soon. Back to Anders in the studio. Indeed, almost spoke too soon. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're doing well. Ignore this mic. This is for Discord after the racing. It's a cold day here at Pretty Ninja HQ, hence the fluffy hoodie and the lack of doing be botheredness of hair. Sorry I'm a bit late. The little man is just about recovered. But rather than being extremely sleepy, he's now extremely energetic, so can't win. But if you have children, you know exactly what I mean. Free practice is almost coming to a close, and we're currently watching Butler go around the wintry Portimao here. Don't let it deceive you. The track temp is still quite warm. It's just purely a skin, for no better expression. It's purely just a bit of winteriness, shall we say, for this current winter season that we are going through, and hopefully it will end soon, because I tell you what, after a winter in the shed, it's hard going. It's very, very hard going. So Butler seems to have got this car fairly mastered. He's currently, well, in free practice at least, 7 temps clear of Jay Skyring in P2, and if Butler does win today, even though there are 2 more rounds, so 60 points are on offer, depending on where Jay Skyring finishes, Butler could seal the deal today. That is a genuine possibility. At this moment in time, Skyring is trailing by 27 points, if I remember rightly. Oh, and there goes Butler, and that's something that could happen in the race today, in all fairness. So we will head trackside in just a minute. In fact, let's just go trackside right now, and we'll just go to the standings one. We'll keep the music going. We'll move away from the safety car. So yeah, Butler is leading the way right now, and if we take a bit more of a closer look, once Mozilla Firefox decides to sort itself out, we can see that Butler is, well, in fact, he's already, well, almost 60 points ahead. So if he wins today, the deal is done. Butler will become Ultimate Sim Racer Season 3 champion. And to be honest, it doesn't look like there's many people around to stop him. Now, Jay Skyring is one of those drivers trying to stop them, but in all fairness, Jay needs to find 8 tenths out of nowhere, effectively. And it's going to be quite a tricky one. Fabrice Lemy, once again, just slipping into P3 at the end of free practice. Looking like Fabrice might be able to get a bit of a better result tonight compared to last night. Now, Butler has not gone out yet. Now, it's Jay Skyring. No, nor's Jay. Lettermy is. Burridge isn't. Pindalier has. Coulson has. Spool has. And Raven has. So, you know what? We haven't really given Raven much screen time. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Let's see if we can find a nice little car. That's a nice car camera. That's what we want to see. So hopefully Raven will get a nice result. They seem to be enjoying themselves here at P&R, which is quite nice. Bit of a lock-up going into the hairpin. Ooh, and that's what you got to watch out for, the torque on the engine. Hence why in the track recce I was giving it in third most of the time. The torque was there. And it just makes it a lot easier to get the power down. You can just be a lot smoother. It's a lot less sketchy. Let's see what Raven can do. Give them a bit of screen time. The only driver on the soft tyre, not the super soft. That's what the SS stands for. And no, it's not some form of Nazi regiment. Oh, needing a lot of curb there. A little bit too shallow in some places. Nice and open through this right-hander. We can't really see the apex because the helmet's in the way. But here we go. Good luck, Raven. Let's see what you can do. And around the last corner, there you go. DRS wide open now. Plenty of free air in front of them. So we head down to T1, down the famous crest. I think that was 3 gears they went down there. You can get away with 2. You don't want to go too many down the gears. That's quite tidy. Nice. Gently does it. Gently does it. Lovely stuff. Very nice. Very nice application of power there. So far, this is a very smooth lap here by Raven. You can see someone in the background just locking up their tyres. That might be Mark Coulson. Trust in the car's aero here. Going down 2. Just got to watch out for that rear end doesn't light up under light load going over the crest. So far so good here. And ignoring that right-hander, focusing on the apex of this one, absolutely nails it. Far better than what I did in the track recce. And there you can hear the upshift just to keep the power nice and smooth. It's looking like a very tidy lap here from Raven. Great. Very good. Let's hope that they get a nice time on the board. As around the final corner they go. DRS wide open when they get to the line. There we go. And let's see. And over the timing line with a 1:28.7. There's definitely potential for growth within that lap time. That's for sure. Coulson goes over the line for 1:30. Sorry. Butler goes over the line, take P1, 1:27 dead. And Burridge goes over for 1:27.9. Jay Skyring goes into the lead with a 1:26.3. And it's really pushing this Formula 2 car. So Jay knows that he needs to basically win every single round and hope for Butler to at least drop a few points. And there goes the rear end. And that's what can happen at Portimao with the track undulations. Makes life very tricky. I think we just saw Fabrice Lemy go by. He's currently got a 141 on the timing board. And we know that they can do better. Oh, I've just realised we've still got the music going, but we'll keep it going for qualifying. And I know the logo's not at the top there, but it will be there in a minute, okay? Calm your bonnet. It will be fine. Very nicely done by Fabrice Lemy here. And we'll keep an eye on Mark Coulson as well. I think Coulson's got a bit more in the tank. Might be finding these Formula 2s a little bit tricky. Skyring again is pulled over. And Butler goes ahead with a 26.375, 1,000th of a second faster than Jay Skyring. With no time left on the board, what can Fabrice Lemy do? And over the timeline they go, and only a 128.2. But Butler, 1,000th of a second quicker than Jay Skyring for P1 here at Portimao. That's going to be such a huge result for Butler for the race ahead. Mark Coulson is still out on track. And whereabouts on track are they? About to come round the final corner. Let's see if there's any improvement here. Spool was unsuccessful in setting a lap time. DRS open. And over the timing line, Mark Coulson goes with no real improvement. So Butler will lead the way here for round 6 of the P&R Ultimate Sim Series. Sim Racer, sorry. Season 3. Jay Skyring takes P2. Pindalia is in P3. Hopefully they'll have a good race today as well. Burridge is P4. Lettermy in P5. Raven, as we saw, with a 28.7 takes P6. And Mark Coulson takes P7. Spool was unable to set a lap time. So Butler, 1,000th of a second faster than Jay Skyring in the qualifying session. Now, I got a funny feeling most of these drivers are probably going to softs for today's race. I can't remember how long I said it for. It's either 18 laps or 18 minutes, and I got a funny feeling I may have messed up. We'll find out. We'll find out in a minute. We will find out in just a moment. 16 laps. I think that's more than enough. I think that's more than enough. Right, let's head over to the broadcast. There we go. No more music. Stuff is about to get serious. Qualifying's all well and good. Being 1,000th of a second would be all well and good. But it's what you do on race day that makes the difference. Butler is on P1. If he gets the victory today, the season is his. So it's Butler's to lose. Can Jay Skyring, can Pindalia, can Burridge, can anyone else in the field stop Butler from getting this championship awarded to them 2 rounds early? Here are our 6 lights. We can hear the virtual V6 F2s roaring. Yeah, so 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, 6 lights. And off we pop for round 6. And to be fair, it looks like they've all got a pretty good start, especially Butler. Butler is completely gone. Jay Skyring is under pressure from Pindalia around the outside. And Pindalia is, in fact, really trying hard. In fact, is that Burridge? In fact, that's Burridge. That's trying to get around the outside. Oh, and there's a tag. Pindalia and Skyring collide. And sadly, that is Jay Skyring right down the bottom of the grid. Burridge capitalising on the race start, the poor race start of Jay Skyring, and now has the hard mission of keeping up with Butler. Now Butler is running the Super Softs. Now whether they can get 16 laps out of the Super Softs, I'm not too sure. I got a funny feeling it's more like a 12 lap tyre, but we'll have to wait and see. As we go on board with Burridge, Raven moves into P3, sorry, Mark Coulson's P4, Skyring P5, Spall P6, Pindalia P7, and Fabrice Letmy in P8. But I got a funny feeling Skyring definitely, Pindalia and Letmy may have damage. Down the timeline we go. And Raven's got a drive through for DRS, using it far too early. And not close to the car in front. Remember, you got to be within a second to use DRS. So now Burridge is within DRS zone and we'll be able to use it here. Using as much of the track width as possible. If it's not kicking up the track limits, then fair enough. And hard on the brakes down into the hairpin. There you go. That's such a shame. Raven currently sitting P3. Is going to have to do a drive-through. That is a shame. Got to watch out for that DRS feature. You may say it's enabled, but you may not actually have it. To be fair, Burridge is currently doing a very good job. Jay Skyring is also having a very good recovery drive. Oh, and Burridge, as I say that, completely messes up the second to last corner. And that's that. That is pretty much, as far as I'm concerned, that's race over. I don't see Butler unless Butler makes a mega mistake. Is going to have any issues. Mark Coulson moves into P3. Jay Skyring is now P4. And whether Skyring can... Oh, the DRS flaps are open of Mark Coulson, but Jay Skyring using all of the track width to make sure they don't collide. Clearly braking a little bit too late there, and Raven is sadly having to do their drive-through. That's a shame. And Burridge has got a drive-through for DRS. Again, these drivers should know better. They're not close enough, they won't have DRS. And Pindalia, however, is close enough to get DRS down into the braking zone, and Spall massively outbrakes themselves. And there is that Burridge again? Burridge again. Just ahead of Pindalia. Making an error, so clearly really struggling with these Formula 2 cars right now. You've got to be really smooth on the throttle, and Jay Skyring is back in a second, but with a 9-second gap to Butler up ahead. Mark Coulson of South Africa is currently sitting P3. I feel like this would be a very, very good result for Mark Coulson if he manages to hold on to it for another 13 laps. But it's currently out of the DRS zone of Jay Skyring, much to Skyring's kind of pleasure, I would imagine. On the other hand, Pindalia is very close to Burridge, but Burridge does need to do a drive-through, so you'll see Burridge stick to the right-hand side. Oh no, Burridge has not done the drive-through. Burridge just needs to be aware that they do have a drive-through. And all of them are running nice and wide because you can, because the track limits on this circuit are broken. It's one of the only things that really bugs me about the AC mods. Track limits not being done properly. Or not updated enough with the sort of applications, but we'll go with it. 1.08 rather behind Pindalia to Burridge in P4, but we saw Burridge there. Oh, and Raven's got another drive-through for DRS. Just don't use it. Just don't use it, and there goes Mark Coulson in the background. Now I think Coulson must have had a bit of an error. So that's Burridge up to P3, but Burridge does have a drive-through to do. And it will be on their screen, and Burridge is really struggling to get a power down in this Formula 2. And Pindalia, I got a funny feeling, will be going on by pretty easily, pretty soon. even though you can clearly see Pindalia's got some damage on the front wing. Front nose cone and wing. But Burridge does need to stay to the right. There we go, there goes Burridge. Hopefully they'll stop slowly enough in time. And Pindalia moves into P3. Now a driver that's slowly catching up, Butler, is Jay Skyring. Now Butler, to be fair, Skyring's also on the super softs. So I have to wait and see how long these tyres actually last. And Raven's back into pit road as well. And Burridge has taken their drive through. Fabrice Lemmy is right on the rear end of Mark Coulson as they just go through the DRS zone. So you'll see DRS open up there. Now will it be enough? No, it won't be enough sadly. And Raven has taken their second drive through of the day. It's a shame. It's a shame after being in such a good position. You just need to not press that DRS button basically, and they will be absolutely fine. Fabrice Lemmy carrying as much speed through as possible through that right-hander. And Raven's got a drive through for DRS yet again. Is it auto opening? Well, they're back in the pits and they've disconnected. Yeah, it must be auto opening for them because I can't imagine that they would have fallen for the same thing 3 times. So fair enough to Raven for DNFing unless it was auto opening for them, which is a bit of a buggy game. Yeah, it did happen the other day as well actually with someone that drove in our races. Fabrice Lemmy is close enough. 9 attempts is the gap. DRS should be open. Tokyo Drift, and Fabrice Lemmy has lost a lot of time there and a lot of tyre wear. That's a shame. Now a car that is currently on a mission right now, well I was going to say it's Jay Skyring. I'm pretty sure I saw it go down to 5 seconds there, but not sure. But Jay Skyring is slowly catching up to Butler up ahead. So unless Skyring has found the pace. But again, it's just a lap 1 incident for Jay Skyring that just seems to undo all the hard work. And she's a pure recovery drive for the rest of the race. Personal best, a new fastest lap of the race, in fact, to 1:28.1. Jay's trying to use as much of the track as possible. We're almost halfway through this race. And quite frankly, the field is pretty well spread. Skyring. Sorry, I was just responding to a couple of Discord messages there. And to be fair, Jay is doing an incredibly good job here of trying to close down the gap to Butler. And you can hear Butler in the background of our screens. Where is Butler now? Butler's probably coming up to the right-hander. There we go. There we go. It looks to me that Butler's just purely cruising. Burridge has gone moved up into P6. There's not a great deal to commentate here. Everyone's driving incredibly well. And with 6 laps to go, it does mean that Skyrim needs to knock out a second lap to Butler for anything to happen. So sadly, I don't think that'll be the case. Everyone else is pretty well spread out. Pretty well spread out. Downhill it comes, and Butler's just set a fastest lap of the race, so just to certify his aggression for this championship, he's been very keen, very desperate, well not necessarily desperate, he's been very keen to win a PNR event. As in a series, not just an event. And he might be on his way to win 2, depending on how the Formula 3 Championship goes. But when it comes to the Ultimate Sim Racer, in 4 more laps, he will be crowned the Ultimate Sim Racer of Season 3 for PNR 2024. And it's just absolutely smooth. Absolutely smooth. And to be fair, Jay Skyring's not going down so easily. He's just on a 1:27.6, so he's knocked half a second off of Butler's time. And if Butler keeps on locking up the front like that, then who knows? I did say lap 12 was about the area that the Super Softs may struggle. And all the other drivers behind, if they were a bit closer, and there you can see Jay Skyring's actually just locked up a little bit. And there is our first back marker, and I believe that's going to be Mark Coulson. Just up ahead. And to be fair, we got to lap 12 of 16 before any back markers have come into field of play, and we can see Skyring there is trying to push. But with 3 more laps after this last corner to go, I'm really struggling to see how Skyring can get anywhere near Butler unless Butler makes an error, which obviously I don't hope. I don't hope that Butler makes an error. But, you know, commentator's curse and all that whatnot. And there's another lock up there going into that corner. He's ran a bit wide, but he's lost maybe 2 or 3 attempts there if that. And he does seem to be down into the hairpin that everybody seems to struggle. A little bit of a lock up on the front left. But again, it could well be down the super softs are struggling. And the gap is down to 4.5, so Jay has done incredibly well to get 5 seconds off of this gap. And you can see Butler's really struggling to get the power down. But I think it's a little too late for Skyring to be able to do anything about it. Fabrice let me in P5. Currently just having a little bit of a, well, it looks like a little bit of an incident. Yeah, you can see the time just fly on up there. So sadly, there's a few driver errors tonight. Causing a few mishaps. Oh, and this actually could be Fabrice Lettermy up ahead. Because, oh no, to be fair, has Burris just crossed over the line? Yeah, Burris just crossed over the line to set. Oh, go on to lap 13. So there goes Butler to go on to lap 14. So Mark Coulson has been lapped indeed, according to this. And 3.7 is the gap, and I think Butler's just managing the tyres a little bit now. I've been kind of saying that for the past few laps, but I do believe now that is, depending on his car set, they could be hurting quite aggressively. And he just needs to have 2 more clean laps, and the title will be theirs. Hammock 33, good evening. Or good morning or good afternoon, depending where you are in the world. Go on to the penultimate lap. Now Skyring has got the gap down to 4 seconds, but again, like I said, it's not coming down quickly enough. And let's change the scene up a little bit. Let's go on board with Butler for the penultimate lap, the lap which could possibly crown them as the PNR Ultimate Sim Racer Season 3 champion. Going quite deep into turn 3. Being very tentative. To be fair, they've had 9 seconds to play with. They've had, the gap was 9 seconds at one point. And Skyring has done incredibly well to close the gap down to 4. But a bit like most of the other events in the Ultimate Sim Racer, Butler just seems to have had it all golden, all their way. Once again, here we go, penultimate corner. Let's come around the last corner to start the final lap of this 16 lap race. It was meant to be a lot closer than this. throughout the field. And you can see someone's waiting, thinking it's the final lap, but it's not. Still one more to go. Now it's the final lap. They're going to be waiting quite a while. Now, will this be the lap that Butler gets crowned the P&O Ultimate Sim Racer? A little bit of a front left lockup. Up the hill, avoiding the first right-hander, hitting the apex of the second. Nicely done. So here we have it, ladies and gentlemen. As Bella comes around the final corner here at Portimao, round 6 of the Ultimate Sim Racer, and will cross the line to mathematically, in my head, become the champion of Season 3. Congratulations to Butler. Currently, until I actually do the maths properly. But I'm pretty sure Butler has now won the Ultimate Sim Series. Jay Skyring comes over the line with a great drive back to P2 after the incident at T3 on lap 1. Here is Pindalia. To round off the top 3 for round 6. So there's still 2 more rounds to go. There's still plenty to be played for the runner-up positions. And over the timeline they come. Coulson finishes off in P7. Pindalia takes P3. Here is Fabrice Lettermy. Will be taking P4, a good haulage of points yet again. And I think Burridge might have run out of fuel. Yeah, the engine's not running, so I think Burridge has actually ran out of fuel here. Oh, and Burridge has killed his engine on the last lap. So that's going to go down as a DNF. Most likely. And Lettermy, sorry, takes P4. Spool takes P5. And Burridge will sadly go down as a DNF, most likely, because I can't get back to the pitch. You might as well teleport back, my guy. I'm not quite sure what will happen, but you might as well just teleport back. Because I think when the timer runs out, it's going to DNF you anyway. Race went from great to bad to worse. Yeah, it was a decline for you this evening, Burridge. It was most definitely a decline. And Burridge is back into pit road. You might be able to drive out Burridge, I don't know. Oh, he's disconnected from the server, so it's a DNF. It is a DNF after that. So let's exit the server. Let's close Content Manager. There was an incident at T3, so we could take a very quick look at that and just see if there was anything in it. It didn't look like it on stream, but we'll just take a very quick look. Wasn't able to drive out. Fair enough, Burridge. Fair enough, fair enough. Excludes the blue lightiness. I'm not quite sure why my face is blue. Probably the screen. And Mole says, I thought I had 4th on the door there. On the cards. So Jay Skyring is the card that we want to watch. I think he gets a fairly negative start, and Burridge does a very nice move around the outside. Then just gets caught out in the braking zone of T3. And TP made a boo-boo. So isn't that my fault? I don't believe it was Burridge. I think it was a bit of a chain reaction. I believe Skyring knocks into the back of you, and then Pindalia goes into the back of Skyring. But we'll just see. We'll just see. Here we go. So we can see Skyring gets a pretty lackluster start. Well, not lackluster. It's just not as good as Burridge, who's just going to come down the outside here. and uses all of the racetrack. And just into the braking zone. And it's just a mixture of collisions, really. Just a mixture of collisions. Just poor judgment on the brakes. You could see, really, that Skyring was trying to get down the inside. Saw a little gap there, and there is a gap there, in all fairness. But sadly, wasn't quite closer or far across enough to avoid the contact with Burridge. Now, where is Pindalia? Pindalia, I think, pretty much did exactly the same thing. And again, it's just a chain reaction here. Just a chain reaction. So that's all just racing incidents, I think. Really. It all sorted itself out. And that was pretty much the only incident, to be honest, from what I could see. Now, let's see if my mental maths is any good. Okay, let's see if it's any good. It might not be, but we'll find out. Where is it? There it is. So, it's not updated yet. Oh, now it has. Now it has updated. Let's take a look. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Butler is indeed the P&R Ultimate Sim Racing Champion with 166 points. Mathematically, there is no way for Jay Skyring now to catch them up, to knock them off their podium. So congratulations, Butler. You are the P&R Ultimate Sim Racer Season 3. I would say a trophy's on the way to you, but we don't have any. The battle for P2 is hotting up though. Jay Skyring holding on to P2 with 105 points. Spool in P3 with 95. Pindalia hot on the heels with 91. Burridge with 74. Not too far away, but needs some good results in the last two rounds. Fabrice Lemmy, P6 with 69. Coulson in P7 with 66. And who else is here, really? That's in it. Not really anyone else, to be honest with you. So the battle for P2 is still available. If Jay Skyring gets a good result next week, then the deal is sealed. But the battle for P3 between Pindalia, Burridge and Spool, although Burridge needs basically a race victory next round to get anywhere near P3, will effectively... Well, it's actually really a battle between Spool and Pindalia, to be honest with you. Even mathematically, it's going to be hard for Burridge to get P3, but you never know what might happen. Never know what might happen. So there we go. Even though we do have our championship winner, there are 2 more rounds left to go in the Ultimate Sim Racer. And they're 2 very good ones. We have GT3s at Dragon Trail Seaside. You can join up now using the password on the Discord. And the final round is in the Porsche GT1 at Sepang. And that is a miniature endurance. It's about 45 minutes, if I remember correctly, off the top of my head. 40 minutes. So we should be in for a good one over the next 2 sessions. This Sunday in the Formula 3 Championships, we are heading to Croft. I love Croft. Not everyone in the community does, but it just produces such incredible racing every single time. And I'm intrigued to see how the Formula 3s do around here, because it's bumpy, it's twisty, it's fast, it's tight. I'm really intrigued to see how the Formula 3 drivers really handle Croft Circuit this Sunday evening. If you haven't signed up, make sure you do. The championship for that one is still incredibly close. Butler is trying to chase down Van der Hoeven, but if Van der Hoeven gets the race victory here at Croft, I'm pretty sure, well, not necessarily mathematically, but I'm pretty sure that it's going to be very, very difficult for Butler to catch up. Other events happening at the P&R store at the minute. We do have the Timeless Velocity, although that might be postponed depending on the mod, I believe, for the Yasu P5. I believe it's some Letterman might be able to explain a little bit more in chat, but there is something slightly wrong with it at the moment in time. But what else is P&R doing? Oh, I don't know. I mean, are we doing anything more? Are we? Have I mentioned these things already? I think I have. Or maybe I haven't. I don't know. But anyway, 3 hours of Indianapolis next Friday, 8th of March from 7:30 p.m. This is to celebrate 200 subscribers on YouTube. So thank you, you lovely lot. If you want to get involved, all you need is AMS2, the Endurance Pack 1, because we are driving the GT3's Gen 2s, and there is all the details with that. And in celebration of Let Me reaching 100 subscribers on YouTube, there will be a Copa Classics B, well, basically an endurance race, 200 miles of old Kyle Army. And trust me, we had a little bit of a play with these old cars the other day, and they are incredible fun. Like, they are genuinely amazing. So I cannot wait for that one. Dates TBC, but we will announce it in the very near future. Don't forget to join our Discord anyway for some fun banter and such lark as it is. And oh, 66, what's going on? Oh, very nice, very nice. See, there we go. It's all sorts of little bits and bobs like that. So, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, look after yourselves. Congratulations to Butler once again for becoming the Ultimate Sim Racer the Hall of Fame very shortly. And until next time, see you later. Might see you on Wednesday evening if I can be bothered to stream. If you want that, leave a like and subscribe to the channel right now. Okay? Bye-bye all!